I was once having a discussion with a Christian girl, and I shared being an atheist, and her first reaction was curiosity. It was as if she was an anthropologist. I found this a very refreshing change from the ways in which Christians usually react. It slightly annoyed me that the first thing I needed to explain was that atheism is not the belief in nothing. But I was very glad that she gave me the chance to explain that. Most Christians don't. Reality does not disagree with itself. So when two claims about what's real are incompatible, it means they can't both be true. Either one is correct, or neither is. Given the fact that most of the claims in the world disagree with other claims, most of the claims in the world cannot be true. Therefore, when one is presented with a claim, it is much more likely false than true, and one is behooved to examine it and test it in search of any places where the reasoning it's based on breaks down, especially if it's a very extraordinary claim which contradicts something well-founded which you already accept. It's important to take this action even if the claim is something you really, really want to be true. Of course, even then, human beings are finite and imperfect. Any who say that they have absolute truth, ultimate reality, or the answer to all, are lying, either to you or to themselves. Such is not humanly possible. The stock of facts about the universe we possess, as well as our comprehension of those facts, are each by their very nature, and by our very nature, dwarfed by the body of facts to be had. Each of us can be certain that there is something we currently hold as fact which is incorrect, or which has room for improvement. So one can never afford to be unwilling to change one's position if the combination of evidence and reason dictates it. Such is only reasonable. The best one can hope for is to continuously expand one's understanding of the universe, secure in the knowledge that whatever that understanding currently consists of, it is not absolutely correct. Right there, up front, she gave me the chance to explain all of this, and I was astonished. She then gave all this reasoning the very treatment that any reasoning is properly due. She examined it. She then said that this was a good point. I don't remember how we got to it, but I had occasion to ask her if she believes the claims of Christianity because she has evidence that they are true, or just because she wants them to be true. She freely admitted that it was probably the latter. I was astonished that she was willing to consider that, let alone suggest it. And bear in mind, we had made it this far without a single personal attack. Atheists, it will be a very good day when all of our discussions go so well. But then a few days later we were talking again, and astrology came up. In response to my skepticism toward this, she became quite defensive. Now this doesn't make any sense at all. If our futures are written in the stars, then it is they who made me skeptical. So if you object to my skepticism, I advise you to take it up with them. But no, she became defensive and almost hostile. She asked, "What do you believe?" Now, I had already answered this question in all the ways she was asking, but in fact I believe many things, entirely too many to boil down into a single discussion. It's my understanding that the same holds true about everyone. But my most fundamental belief is that what really matters is not what one believes, but how one goes about making the determination of whether a certain claim is worth believing. But the conversation continued to go downhill. She asked if I had any qualities about myself I would like to change. Well, of course I do. I'm human. So she asked what they are. I admitted that I would like to be better at having friends. She then gave me the most condescending and utterly useless piece of advice. She said, "You have to work at it." That hurt. Let me tell you why. I would call this a pet peeve, but it doesn't strike me as particularly petty. She brought this up exclusively to nitpick an imperfection of mine because she found this preferable to weathering my skepticism. You know what else you have to work at? Fixing a car. What other examples are there? Well, playing a musical instrument, or speaking a different language, but in each case it's the same deal. It's not enough to work at it. It's not enough to apply effort to it, as if effort is some tangible fix-all panacea you can just sprinkle around. In each case, you also have to know what you're doing. If you don't have skills that are relevant to the task we're trying to accomplish, no amount of effort is of any use. Such is the nature of having friends. It requires skill, which I don't happen to have. Most people learn the proper skills when they're young, when they're kids, so everyone knows how to respond to small children who don't have such skills yet, but not adults. No one knows how to respond to an adult who doesn't have such skills, so they avoid him instead. I didn't get to spend my childhood developing such skills. I didn't get to spend my childhood learning how to be a friend and how to have friends. I had to spend that time learning how to weather abusive parents and an oblivious extended family, so I'm stuck trying to figure it out now. The problem is that there are no places to help adults develop social skills. The social scene is a place where one is expected to have them already, and if you don't, you're stuck. You are shit out of luck. Worse, you're alone.